Day 5 of hot yoga reflection. I've done 5 sessions of hot yoga in about 8 days. I did my week trial, signed up for the unlimited monthly. I'm going to try to go 3 times a week. 2 at the least, but at least 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. 2 at least 3 times a week. I burned 665 calories. I think that's what it says. I had my Garmin. I have a Garmin smartwatch, and I have a heart rate monitor. I wore my heart rate monitor the whole time. And let me give you my stats. This was the hardest one. I've been through 4 different instructors. Everyone has a different style. Some classes are harder. Holy shit. Max heart rate was 180. That's really, really high for me. Average was 144. When I did CrossFit, excuse me, God, I'm like freaking out here. When I did the CrossFit, what's that challenge? It's the one dedicated to the Marine who did. I'm brain dead right now. I'm fried, so I can't think of it. It's the Murph. I did the Murph. My wife does CrossFit every day, so I did the Murph. Super intense. I was sore for a week. Screwed me for the week, but I did it. My max heart rate wasn't even 180. My heart rate's, it's crazy. If you look at this, maybe I'll pop it up, but basically for the entire time, my heart rate was super high. It was average 144. Total calories burned 665 for about an hour and 10 minutes. Oh my God. But I feel really good right now. It's 10:30. I didn't do it early because I was setting up my house for my daughter's birthday party. My daughter's turning 9 on Monday, but she has her friend birthday party today. So I wanted her to wake up, come downstairs, have Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday playing. She walks out onto our patio and there's balloons and streamers and she's dancing. So that's how she woke up today. She woke up to a party on the patio for her. I wanted her to feel special. So I did that. It took me about 2 hours instead of working out in the morning. So I did this 9:30 hot yoga class. This instructor, my God, we planked for 30 minutes the whole class, which is great because this shoulder I had surgery on. I had bicep tendon surgery, rotator cuff surgery 3 years ago. It's still a little weak. My left shoulder has a tear in the bicep tendon. It's going to need surgery. Might do stem cells. I'm looking into it. So my shoulders have issues. So I can't go crazy heavy. So I need to continually work on my shoulders. So the planking is good for me. And with my son, I do a plank every single day. We've been doing that for almost a year now. But my God, it was planks, and it was like 100 degrees in there, hottest it's ever been. Full arm planks, then you go to the elbow planks, and then you're doing crunches. You're like pulling your left knee up to your left elbow, then your left knee to your right elbow, then you're going to full arm plank, and then you're twisting on the side. It's just the shoulder pressure never ends. That's the hardest part for me. It's not the legs, it's nothing. It's just the shoulder pain and shoulder pressure. And not like pain like something bad's happening. It's like muscle growth pain. Just never ends. And that's the hardest part. It's even when you're just squatting and you have to lift your arms up, you can't do it. Like if I'm at the gym and I'm shoulder pressing, like on a shoulder press machine, I can shoulder press a good amount of weight. I can dumbbell shoulder press a good amount of weight. But holding my body weight arms up for long extended periods of time like that is the hardest part. And I just couldn't do it for parts of it. I had to just drop my arms and like I could not complete the whole thing. I stayed for the whole thing, burned 660 calories, kept on trying for the whole thing, but I failed multiple times throughout it. I had to quit the poses 4 or 5 times because I just couldn't hold myself up anymore. One of the problems with being a slightly larger than average guy, I'm no LeBron James, but like if you're a 140-pound lady, it's a different experience. And I've kind of screwed myself a little bit with some of my back and shoulder muscles in terms of my flexibility, which is why I'm doing this, so that does not become an issue. And that's not an excuse either, because there are plenty very strong guys who are very flexible, so I get no excuse. And I'm not even the biggest guy in the world, so what the hell am I talking about? I'm just being a bitch. Very hard, 5 sessions, bought the unlimited monthly. Even though I'm only 5 sessions in, I'm better than I was 5 sessions ago. I can already tell I'm more flexible. And anecdotally, I was starting to get really bad hip pain, tailbone pain, like sciatica. I had 2 or 3 years ago, I had really bad sciatica. I had a bulging disc in my S1 nerve or something. It was hitting my S1 nerve. So I had a bulging disc in my lower spine. Went to the doctor, got MRIs, got all kind of stuff. And I think they said a slight tear even. And I remember at that time I was a music teacher. We went on a field trip with the kids, went to an amusement park. I went on this really jolty ride. And on the way home, it was a 3-hour bus ride on a school bus, I could feel my back stiffening up. The next day, the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I felt like I was paralyzed. I was laying in my bed screaming. And my son Nathan was terrified. He was like, what the fuck is happening to Dad? And I had to call my brother because I could not move. I was legitimately paralyzed in my bed. I couldn't move. I felt I had to like worm my way to the ground. I couldn't get off the ground. My brother Mike had to lift me up. They had to pull their van to the back of our house to like lift me into the van. Then I had to get a wheelchair. It was all because of this like bulging disc thing. And then they shot me up with a bunch of drugs. I still went camping the next day because I didn't want to cancel our family's camping trip. And then the same thing happened. I couldn't get out of the tent. So one of my best friends happens to be a bodybuilder, and he was able to lift me out of the tent. Mark Forelli, awesome guy. So he was like lifting me around the campground. And then eventually, after a couple of weeks, it went away from doing exercises. A couple of weeks ago, I felt like that was going to happen again. It was like I could feel my lower back muscles just clenching up. So I started getting weekly massages, and most important, but I could still feel it. But now, 5 sessions, it's like I forgot the pain was there. So I took for granted that I don't have the pain. When the pain was there, I felt it every single day. But when the pain disappeared, I took it for granted. Because I forgot that every single moment I was in that pain. And I think over the last week or so that I've been doing this yoga, that fixed it for now. Like it stretched it out and did something down there to where I don't have that hip lower back sciatica type pain. I was starting to get it every single day, like 7 to 10 days ago, and I just forgot that it was there. Now that I'm doing this video, I'm noticing like, hey, I don't have the pain anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do hot yoga. I was like, I need to get more mobile, stretch my stuff out, and I think it's great. So there you go. I am drenched. I think I lost 5 gallons of water out of my body. Something funny that happened, I did touch a lady's foot. I did have to run to the bathroom to fart. At the beginning of the class, I was like, uh-oh, this might be an issue. So I ran to the bathroom, farted, came back. Because I don't want to be in hot yoga bending over farting in a lady's face. It was me and 20 ladies. And me, the worst person there, sweating, falling down. Me and 20 ladies. And at the very end, when we were finally done, I'm just like breathing on the ground. Even though we're not doing it, I'm laying on my back in Shavasana, I believe it's called, or whatever it is. The dead pose. Just laying on your back. I probably just probably the wrong pose. And they're like putting your arms, stretching your arms out, final relaxation. I stretch my arms out, and I can feel a lady's foot with my fingers. So I freaked her out. Because for me, that's like the most terrifying thing. When I was a kid, I had an unhinged fear of my toes sticking out of the covers. And me and my brothers would try to scare each other. Like, if your toes are sticking out of the covers, a witch is going to pinch your toe. Like some crazy German folktale shit we would tell each other. So I've had this fear my entire 37 years of my toes sticking out of my covers and an old witch pinching them. And I can just imagine laying there in the dark and just feeling someone's fingers on your toes. That's basically what happened. I was laying down, I just reached my hands up and I felt a lady's foot. So I was like, awkwardly, I was like, sorry. I kept on going back. But that's what it is. I'll do another yoga update, I don't know, after 30 days. See if I can do splits by then. But that's what it is for now.